Well, can't hear me okay? Right. Welcome. Good to see everybody here. I'm sure we'll still have a few coming in and all that, but I know the food is over there, and we told them 4:30, so I'd like to get started around 4:30. So, again, very glad everybody's here and celebrate this season, and the guys who are here, and very grateful that a lot of the parents and families can make it as well. So, before we try to think how we're going to do this, let's start here. We'll go last. We always go last, and that way when I'm done, I know it's about time to go. When we're finishing up eating and people are kind of getting their thirds and all that, we'll start the video around then. Is that okay? I hear there's a really good video coming. So we'll do that kind of when things are settling down a little bit and before I get up here and do our thing here at the end. So before we eat, let's bow our heads and just be grateful for the opportunity to meet here today. Heavenly Father, thank you for this season. Thank you for the young men that have participated for us this year, and just grateful that we can gather together one last time and enjoy each other's company and celebrate their accomplishments. Thank you for the food that's been prepared, and just again grateful for the opportunity to be here, and wish everybody well, and wish everybody as they either move on from here or get ready to come back next year. Thank you for the hands that prepared the food, and all the Elmhurst baseball players said, amen. Amen. So you guys start, and we'll kind of wind back around. Yeah, I thought that we could start there. You know where to start.
They're all at that table.
Okay, I'm going to get rolling here. A little bit of a change of plans. I think we're going to just show the video at the end. Okay, that way people can just pay attention to it, and if people aren't interested, they're free to go. Plus, it'll keep me a little shorter here, which I think is the main idea. Thank you for the food. Can we give a big hand to Charlie? Thank you for the service, and thank you for the food. Very, very enjoyable. Just a few things to check here. Jerseys. We took those jerseys out Friday. Parents and all, thank you for that event as well on Friday. That was very enjoyable. But we need those jerseys back. We got to make sure that we have a plan in place for that, sort of. All right, good. Are they in the bin? Okay. I was gonna say. I think Coach Meager's going to wash those this week. Oh! I'm kidding. Okay. A couple of other quick thank yous here. She's not here, but Tanisha Allen works in our public safety office, and I got her she doesn't know it yet, but I got her a little gift from us because we absolutely wore her out this year. She works the minibuses and the reservations for those. So, needless to say, we had a few changes and a few, hey, are there buses available this day? We might have to play here then. And we had to, just about every day. In fact, my email subject was usually me again when I would contact her. So I really just want to thank her. I know she's not here, but we can get her. thank you to the parents. The coaches, we received gifts the other day on Friday, and very much appreciate you thinking of us, and just very, as I say, never, always appreciated but never necessary, and very grateful for those gifts. Cookies are good too. Something to mention, I always mention this at this thing, our golf outing is coming up about 3 or 4 weeks. It's on Tuesday the 7th. It's a big fundraiser for the department. You can golf if you have a foursome. We have a coaches group here that's going to golf. See how that goes. But you also can come for dinner. There are sponsorship opportunities, just a way to support the athletic department. It's kind of the rainy day fund. So when we get in a situation like, for instance, when we had to, let's say theoretically, move a game to Bloomington, for instance, and they pitched in and got us a bus for that. So there's certain things that maybe don't end up coming out of our budget. It can be used for uniforms, it can be used for other things, and it's a fun day. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, let me know. If you're interested in sponsorship opportunities, I think they're as low as like $300 for a whole sponsorship, but I wanted to at least bring that up. Want to thank some other groups of people here. My family is, Daniel's here. Can you stand up, Daniel? Daniel and Paul, my sons, and then my wife Carrie as well. Obviously, it's a busy time of year, and this year I think more than most years, just with some of the changes and everything. So, obviously, want to thank them, our coaching staff, and in particular the guys that are here tonight, Coach Swanson, Coach Wolak, Coach Meager. Coach Meager finished his first year as our graduate assistant this year and just did a heck of a job with really just a lot, we always say other duties as assigned, you know, what kind of comes out, but taking care of a lot of our travel stuff, taking care of a lot of our food stuff, and obviously taking part in the everyday coaching. Really appreciate your work this year, so let's give him a Coaches Wolak and Swanson have been with us now for a number of years, 7 and 7, right? 7 and 7. So, what's that?
That checks out. 8, 7, and that's 6 for Al.
Yeah.
7. But I mention this to the guys all the time. Obviously, they're bringing, I think, some really good things to the table as coaches, but the sacrifices they have to make to be here as much as they can be here, and being flexible with their jobs. I want to thank their bosses as well. But I think it's hard if you're not in that situation. It's hard to know how challenging that can be and how much planning they have to do, and the dedication that they have to this program. They both played in this program, and both have given a lot back to this program. So appreciate it, guys. Before I get into introducing the players, we're going to talk about each player individually, and I'll keep that quick. But I do want to mention someone who's not here. I think we may know who I'm talking about. Coach Murphy. Gordon Murphy was had been an assistant in our program for 15 years. He passed away in January, and we miss him every day. I miss him personally every day, but we miss him as a coach. We miss him as an inspiration. Coach Porter always used to say it's always a great day when Murph is there, and I think we know what that means. He just brought everybody's spirits up, and just was such I think a tremendous example for these guys, and wanted to get to know them, wanted to see where they were going with their lives, wanted to help them in any way that they could. And I always said he knew a lot more about baseball than he let on as well, but I think he was such an impact in so many ways. And we, as coaches, we made sure there was, and it wasn't difficult, but we always said, let's have at least one Murph memory every day. And then, like I said, that wasn't difficult. It would come up without us having to really work at it. And he was always I would always have him do our team prayer when he was there, and so we made sure we incorporated some aspects of what he did in that prayer every time. And so I miss him, and I know we miss him as a group of people, and I think I know I'm a better person for having known him, and I think that may be the best thing you can say about somebody. So, thanks for everything. Okay, I do want to just briefly recap. It was we had a lot of nice moments. It was a challenging year in a lot of ways, as I think we know. I don't think we performed as well as we could. I think there were moments where we did. We had some really big wins in there, but it was also challenging off the field in a lot of ways, with some of the games having to be moved around and that type of thing, and not having a place to practice a lot of the time. I don't want to focus on that tonight, but I will say this, and this is something I mentioned on Friday, that I think it's, we always talk about you have to adapt and you have to adjust and you have to recognize that whatever the world throws in front of you, you have to find a way to conquer that. You have to find a way to get past that. And I told the guys, it might not show up here right now in 2022 Elmhurst baseball. I think it did on occasion. I think I mentioned that the North Central game. That winning over there after that week we had been through was really something. And I think they showed a lot of character and a lot of heart in doing that, and other times as well. But it's going to show up in other ways too. It may not be in baseball. It may not be. It may be another sport. It may be somewhere else in your life. But I think that toughness that we had to show is certainly going to pay off one way or another. So again, I don't want to dwell on that. I want to dwell on what these guys accomplished and what they brought to the table for us. But so I'm going to go through first-year players, second-year players. I'm going to save the seniors for last, whether they're first year or third year or fourth year or sixth or fifth, whatever. But I want to go through it. I will do it quickly. I generally want to spend a lot of time on the last, the fourth-year guys, the seniors. So I will go through the other guys quickly. You're going to hear some fairly similar things about some of these guys. It was a fairly veteran group this year, but more than really I've ever had. 16 years here was probably the highest percentage of at-bats and innings for seniors that I've had. And that hasn't, again, always been the case. I think different teams have different mixes in there, but this year I think that was the best way to do it, and it gave us the best chance to win and all that. But, so some of these guys, we didn't see as much of them on the field. We saw them every day at practice. We saw them maybe in some JV opportunities or the limited time they may have gotten in the regular games. But fortunately, early in the year, our first 16 games, our first 14 games, we split 2 close games and we split 12 blowouts. It was crazy. I mean, 12 of our first 14 games were decided by, I think, 5 runs or more. So we had some opportunities to get some guys in the mix, and I think that was great. It's always great when you can get guys' feet wet early. I think some guys responded really well to that. But a lot of that development we've seen has been more behind the scenes, has been in practice, and I think we have some guys that I will talk about among our seniors that show that maybe didn't really get on the field that much till this year, didn't really get their opportunities until this year, but they continue to improve and continue to show a good attitude, and I think it's a really good example. So I'm going to briefly mention our first, second, and third year players, and we don't have the awards anymore. I think they give like the fourth year awards, but they do that at a special ceremony, so I don't, we used to have something we'd hand you, like a clock or what else was it, pen set, pen, pencils, things, something like that. But we don't have that anymore, so I guess I'll just shake your hand up here. I'll shake your hand, come on up. First, Spencer Anton. Spencer appeared in 4 games for us this year. He's a freshman right-hander, guy that we like, a guy that's going to play a very big role here in the future, and we were very excited to see his development this year. Had the save in that Lakeland game, really threw well in that ball game, and again, looking forward to the rest of his career. So come on up, Spencer. Cody Baker is a junior, transferred in for us this year, junior left-hander, battled some adversity this year, was able to get involved early, and I think would have played a pretty big role for us if that had stood up. But we're excited about what he's bringing to the table as well. Glad he's healthy, and we're looking forward to the next couple of years there. So come on up, Cody. save all the seniors for here at the end. Another theme you're going to hear, we did have a few guys that got banged up kind of a few games into the season. Declan Descamps is one of those guys. And Declan is a sophomore left-hander first baseman for us, and had some good moments this year when he got involved. Had a big hit in one of the games down in Jacksonville, had a nice outing down in Florida that got messed up when the last guy got a hit that drove in a couple runs, but really threw the ball well, and he's a guy that I think has a very high ceiling and stays healthy. He's going to play a really big role here. Come on. Dylan Elwood, freshman outfielder for us. Dylan got involved quite a bit as well. If I can find my numbers. Played in 7 games, and some is kind of a defense replacement, pinch runner, but also swung the bat pretty well in the few opportunities that he had. So we like what he's bringing to the table, like the improvement that he showed, and I think that the ceiling there is pretty high. Come on up, Dylan. Joseph Ingrata also faced a little adversity this year with a couple of injuries, one in the fall and one toward the end of the spring. In between, did a really nice job. He's a freshman right-hander and an infielder for us, and looked good with the bat when he was in there, and also did really well on the mound. Had a start for us in that Marion doubleheader, and just threw the ball well when he was in there. So he's a guy that I think brings a number of things to the table, like how he goes about his business, and will be a big factor for us in the future. Calvin Keith, kind of in the similar position, where a guy who got limited at bats, but showed us some really good things, had a really good fall for us, and is bringing, I think, a lot of good things to the table. Was a little bit blocked this year, but is a guy that I know is going to be a strong contender for time in the future, and we like where he is right now, and is a talented guy, so come on up. Davis Mayfield, freshman first baseman, left-hander, that saw time in both areas. He appeared in 7 games as a position player, a couple games on the mound, bringing a lot of good things to the table there. He's got a lot of power, did pretty well in the games he was involved as a hitter, and just went about his business in a really, really good way this year. Did whatever he could during games to help out, to get guys ready, and really as an example that we need to follow in that regard. But again, like what he's bringing to the table, going to get certainly be a big contender for some time next year, and so good first year, and looking forward to his future as well. Davis, come on up. Eric Malott, freshman catcher for us, continuing with that theme. Very talented guy. Just really like this freshman class just all the way through. But Eric's a guy that I know is going to be a factor for us behind the plate. He also has some ability on the infield, can swing the bat. Was involved in a number of games this year, appeared in 5 games for us, and a lot more to come in the future. So Eric, come on up. See these guys all cleaned up with the shirt and towels. Very nice. Our last first-year player, Charlie Smith. Charlie's a freshman right-hander for us, and really came on as the year went along. He was getting some time in the JV games and started really looking good. He got a lot more time toward the end of the year in the regular games, whatever you want to call appeared in 3 games for us and threw the ball really well. He had a win, picked up a win for us. We got him involved the last weekend as well. Wanted to see how he did in that environment. Threw the ball well there as well. So if he continues to improve like that, he's going to play a really big role here. Come on up. Second-year players. Cole Bazzi is a sophomore left-hander for us. Cole led us in appearances this year. Appeared in 14 ball games, saved 2 games. He was a big factor for us out of the bullpen, and will play a major role in potentially a number of different roles in the future. But he's going to throw a lot of innings for us. He already has, and was a very reliable guy for us the last 2 years coming out of the bullpen. Cole, come on up. We had 3 games this year that we won with strikeouts with the tying run on 3rd in the last inning, and Cole had a couple of those where he was the guy who had some really gutsy outings and nailed down a couple of games for us toward the end of the year, or I guess throughout the year. Michael Campanaro, the sophomore outfielder and right-hander for us, and Mike really came on this year. He was a guy that we tell guys that we're always evaluating. We're always watching their rounds, and we're always that type of thing. It was right after spring break, I believe, and you had been able to be at a couple of practices. And I remember talking to Coach Welker, like, he's been having good rounds, he's kept on, and we got him involved in a couple of games. He had a home run. We got him involved in a couple more games, and so he ended up playing in a number of games, 13 games for us, and hit a couple balls out and swung the bat well, and continues to develop as a position player, also on the mound. So. Looking forward to what he's bringing to the table in the future. Mike, come on up. Michael Colin is a sophomore outfielder for us, another guy that I think made some good strides this year. He ended up appearing in 5 games for us. Registered his first hit, which was great. Played good defense for us, was also a pinch runner for us, and did a number of different things. So we're hoping to see continued improvement from him and a role in the future. Mike, come on up. Jesse James, a sophomore catcher for us, and just had a really good year. He was a guy that we knew could be a pretty big factor for us behind the plate coming out of last year. He ended up starting 23 games, appearing in 27, and really had a big year. His on-base plus slugging was an even 1,000, which is good, and hit .333 on the year, and was really good behind the plate for us. So narrowly missed an all-conference selection. He was probably had better rate numbers, but there was a guy that had better overall, like, counting numbers, I guess if you want to call it that. But narrowly missed that, and I think he's going to be in the running for that in the future. Had a really good year, and looking forward to 2 more. Jesse, come on up. Joseph Kalish, sophomore right-hander, played a big role for us again this year, as he did as a freshman a year ago. Appeared in 8 games for us with 4 starts, and had some really good ones in there. Struggled a little early, but I thought came back in the second half of the year and was the pitcher that we've seen in the past, and played a real big role for us down the stretch. So we're losing a lot of innings from this year's team. I haven't calculated the percentage, but it's going to be high. So Joe is a guy that we know is going to be able to fill that void in a big, big way. So come on up. Zach Kepler is a sophomore left-hander for us. Has played some football in Elmhurst as well, but he just played baseball this year. And what I said about Charlie Smith, I can basically say the same thing about Zach. Zach really came on this year, was a guy that got some action in some JV games early and really looked good. Got a lot more action in the varsity games as time went on. Ended up appearing in 4 games for us. Got a win in one of those Marion games and threw really well in that. So a guy that we're looking to fill a big role in the future. Again, a lot of innings to be had next year. I think he's a big candidate to fill that. So Zach. Zachary Cole is a sophomore infielder for us and a two-sport guy as well. He plays, or he wrestles for Elmhurst as well. Does a very good job there also. But had a real good year for us. He got involved quite a bit down on our Florida trip and really filled in quite well. Ended up appearing in 13 games and 278 for us. So a guy we can move around the infield a little bit and show him the ability to put the bat on the ball and handle the bat well. And looking forward to him being a major factor for us these next couple of years. Back to Mark. Tom Palumbo is a sophomore infielder for us. I thought he made some really good strides this year as well. I think he's getting stronger. I think he's hitting the ball with more authority. I think we saw that certainly in some JV games this year. And so we're looking forward to his continued development and chance to, we know he can defend. He's a guy that really is smooth defensively and is one of our better defensive infielders. So that bat keeps coming on. He's got a chance to be a factor for us. So Tom, come on up. Mac Timmer is a sophomore infielder for us, and a guy I'm really proud of what he's been able to do this year. He had to battle through some adversity early in the year, came back. His timing was a little bit off, and I think he got himself back to where he could be by the end of the year. He's a guy that continues to work hard, continues to develop with the bat, to work into a role in the future. But I'm just really proud of what he was able to accomplish this year. Back on it. Alexander Velasquez is a sophomore infielder for us and a guy that's gotten involved a decent amount here his first couple of years. Appeared in 6 games for us this year. He's a guy with a lot of talent, a guy that, again, I think is ready to step into a much bigger role in the program, and I'm looking forward to that. Alex, come on up. Our last second-year player, Eric Spindon, is a sophomore right-hander for us, and Eric's another guy that really has come on quite a bit this year. I think the stuff has ticked up, and he ended up appearing in a number of games for us, appearing in 3 games with 1 start, and threw the ball really well. He started out kind of throwing some JV games early in the year, but he was a guy that threw real well there, and so the stuff is there, and I think he's getting ready to put all that together. He's another guy that I think is a big candidate to get some of those innings next year. So Eric, come on up. Okay, third-year players. Non-senior third-year players. Jack McGinnis, junior catcher for us. Jack had to battle through some injuries this year and kind of cut into his time a little bit, but he's a guy that has shown, he's always been good defensively, shown some good development with the bat. that will continue in the future. But he's a guy that's always done whatever we need him to do, whether that's catching bullpens, getting guys ready, that type of thing. And we hope to see that continued development here in these next couple of years. Jack, come on. James Neal is a junior infielder for us, and James, I thought, developed quite a bit with the bat this year as well, got involved. Appeared in 6 games and started 3, couple knocks there early on. And, James is graduating early, so he will not be with us past this, but I'm really proud of his development over these 3 years and what he's brought to our program. James, come on up. Ray Rodriguez is a junior right-hander for us and has battled a number of injuries here during his time, and that's been unfortunate. I think Ray's bringing a lot of talent to the table. He's a hard worker. He's a good arm and a guy that I think can step into a role next year for sure if he can stay healthy, and I think he's due for that. But he's a hard worker, and I know that he will get as good as he's going to get. That's one of the best things I can say about a guy. He's always positive. He's always a guy that brings a good attitude to the field, and just need to keep him healthy and on the mound. So come on up. Andrew Shellhorn is in kind of the same boat with James. He's graduating early, so he will not be back with us next year. But he's a junior left-hander and has appeared in a number of games for us for the last few years. He appeared in 9 games this year, which is one of the higher, his 5th on the team. And had some big outings for us. Closed out that game up at Carthage and had some other real good outings for us. So we're going to miss him. He's a strike thrower and a guy that we could rely on, and just grateful for his development, his contributions here for 3 years. Come on up, Sean. All right, seniors. We're going to start with Brett Bishop. Brett's is a grad student, actually. He's in his first year with our program this year. Came from Belmont Abbey in South Carolina and brought a lot of good things to the table. Brought a unique perspective on a lot of things, which was great. And appeared in 14 games for us, and 12 starts, and really swung the bat well overall. Hit a couple balls out, and had 6 extra base hits, and slugged .583 in that time. So don't know what his future holds. I know we're working through that right now, but had a really good year this year, and it'd be great if we had him back for another. So, Brett, come on up. I don't know, if you're not involved, if you're not with us every day, I don't know how fast the year goes. Like, you're a parent, I don't know how fast the year goes. I know this is the first year either of my sons has played school baseball as a freshman, and my other son is a freshman in high school, and I know that year has gone fast. But it's just incredible to me how fast this year went, and how fast, anyway. That's all right, too much info. Jason Miller, 3rd-year player for us. He's a senior right-hander, and has been one of our top arms really since he's been here. He started 10 games for us, which was a team high this year, and threw 45 1/3, which I think was the top on the team. It was. He's had a number of big wins over the last 2 years, and is a guy that takes the ball every weekend, and was he'd done that all the way through his career. That was one of the things he did in high school. I know he appeared in just an absurd number of games as a senior in high school. And was more of a starter with us than a relief guy, but is a guy that we knew we could count on, and just really had a nice career here. So we're gonna miss him for sure. Okay, come on up. is also in his third year with the program. He's a senior, grad student, I guess, grad student infielder for us. Played some outfield as well. So he's a guy that we moved around a little bit. Had a really, really strong year defensively this year. I think really solidified our infield defense and then did a nice job at shortstop for us, but also filled in the outfield when needed. He can swing the bat a little bit too, so we'll talk more about that later, but has really had a couple of really good back-to-back years for us. So Trey, come on. All right, now to the fourth-year players. Paul Thomby, who's a senior first baseman for us, and has put together a really good career here. And Friday night, some of the stuff I'll repeat from Friday night for the people that were there, the parents that were there, but I think he's 10th all-time on our career home run list with 17, and he missed, these guys didn't have a sophomore season. That's one of the things when you look at some of these career numbers and just how it seemed to go so fast with this group. Missing that season will certainly put a dent in that. But Paul had 17 homers over the last 2 years, 16 homers over the last 2 years. And the thing I think that was really fun to see with him this year was just his development as a hitter, not necessarily as a slugger, but his development as a hitter. I think he was a much tougher out. I think he used the other side of the field quite a bit as compared to last year, and I just think he was a much better hitter for us. He ended up hitting .295 and slugging .477. As I said, he hit the 7 home runs. Was an on-base guy, on-base .443, walked 25 times and was hit 10 times, which continued a trend. So just one of the better complete hitters, I think, by the end of his career. The power is excessive. If you've seen him hit or seen him take BP, but I think just the ability to use the other, the left field, use the outfield field, and be a line drive hitter when necessary is a real development for him this year. So I think one of the better hitters to not win our Silver Slugger Award, but certainly had a big career for us. So, Paul, come on up. Zachary Hafner is a senior outfielder and infielder for us. Played mostly in the outfield this year, but very skilled on the infield as well. Zach is a guy that continued to improve during his 4 years here. He's one of those guys, I kind of mentioned this earlier, that didn't get that much time until he got to be a senior, and he was ready to play, and he was ready to hop into a big role for us and had a nice year for us. He was a guy that, one of the things that we really keep track of that's important is pitches per plate appearance and how many pitches do you see. And he had one of the highest totals, I think the highest total I've had in at least in 9 years since the Brian Evans days. He saw about 4.4 per plate appearance, and that's whether you're reaching base or not. And you reach base at a very high clip, 394 with his on base percentage. You're having an effect when you do that, and he just would. I always called Evans a pest, and I think I mean that in the nicest way and in the most complimentary way. And Hafner was a pest this year for opposing pitchers. He was a guy that really made it work and really did us a lot of good as an offense. So really proud of what he did. He made himself into a good outfielder. He hadn't played much outfield until we suggested it to him his sophomore year, and he was out there taking fly balls all the time and really working at it, and seen it as an opportunity to get on the field, and it is something that worked out for him. So. Really glad he had the year he did this year, and it really is a testament to his hard work and his perseverance. So, Zach, come on. Noah Jordan is a senior left-hander for us, and is a guy who's played a big role really since he stepped on campus. Had a big, beat Whitewater when he was a freshman in his first career start against a nationally ranked team, and really just had a heck of a year this year. Started 9 games, and really was, by the end of it, you could say the anchor of our rotation. He led us in strikeouts, was second in innings.
3 ball games, was 3-2 on the mound, and just had a really good senior year. I think he had a good junior year, and I think he had a better senior year. It was really great to see him. The work that he put in really pay off, and we'll talk a little more about him later, but just really proud of him this year. J.D. Knight is a senior right-hander for us, and J.D. has, I mean, if all of our pitchers could take the course he's taken in terms of his improvement and his progress during his time here, we'd be in really good shape, because he's a guy that we liked as a freshman, but is a much better guy than to be honest, than I thought he would be at that time. I think that's a testament to his work and what he's been able to do, not only from an increase in velocity, but just an increase in stuff. And so he got off a little slow start this year, but by the end of the year, I think he was back being himself and had the big, almost shut North Park out his last outing and got the win there. Again, tied for our team lead in wins, I believe. I have trouble finding him here. Yes, he did. He appeared in 10 ball games overall for us. And so really good year on the heels of another good year last year. And looking forward to having you back next year. Trevor Lorick is a senior center fielder for us, and another guy that has been involved early on in his career as a freshman. He was involved in quite a few games as a defensive guy, but he also started a number of games that year and competed well with the bat. We knew coming out of the fall he was going to be playing center field every day because his defense is exceptional. Very good defensive center fielder. He made a catch at North Park that is, what do we figure, maybe the number 3 all time? My time here. Yeah, that's true. The guys asked, they said he made this crazy catch on a ball in right center, and he jumped right against the wall and grabbed it right as he was jumping, so it's hard for me to describe it, but the guys on the bench were saying, is that the best catch you've had? And I said, that's not even the best catch he's made. He made a catch in a JV game 3 years ago that I still can't believe. I was asking if anybody had recorded it so we could send it to ESPN. I'm serious. I mean, it was that kind of catch. But anyway, very good defensive player, competed very well with the bat this year, 33 games, and did a lot of good things for us offensively as well. So he's a leader. He's a guy that I think is a worker and a very good example for us, and a guy that I know I could lean on to take the temperature of certain things and talk with about certain things, and so we're going to miss him in a number of ways. Trevor, come on up. Freddie March is a senior first baseman, left fielder, DH for us. Freddie's a guy that we're talking, for the end of the year we were talking, it was one of the practices, we were just hitting indoors, and somebody asked me about, they were talking about, like, in my whole time, it's my 16th year here, who is the guy that has outperformed your expectations? I said, probably Freddie, more than anybody. And again, I always hate to say it because it makes it sound you didn't expect anything. Of course I expected things out of him, but did I expect him to hit 13 home runs in a year? I wouldn't expect that out of anybody, I mean, I think when you look at it, and you look at, and the coaches can talk about this as well, or could confirm this, he goes from, what are we going to do with this guy, to, I think he can hit he hit a curveball? It looks like he can hit a curveball. Then he loses a year with COVID and all that, and then we come back the next year and he swings the bat really well, and we say, okay, we're going to be able to pencil him in, and then all of a sudden he's hitting a home run just about every game, to be honest with you. So, very hard worker in the weight room, very hard worker on the field, in the cage, and I think just obviously paid off for him in a big, big way this year. So, Freddie, come on. He's wearing the heck out of that suit. JT Oy is a senior right-hander for us, and another guy that I think, I don't mean to sound like a broken record with some of these guys, but another guy that I think has really, really developed in his time here, where he had a big, big role for us this year. He appeared in 8 ball games and was one of our top guys coming out of the bullpen. And I think that role has just steadily increased. I think each year he was a guy in the fall and in the early part of the season where we said, hey, this is going to be a bigger role for him this year. And I think he's shown that. He really was a guy that improved during his time here and was a hard worker, a guy that we could point to and say, this is how we do things. He's a guy we could, again, come to when we needed to take the temperature on things quite a bit. And he was just really proud of the career he's been able to put together. JT, come on up. Jay Palmer is a senior right-hander for us, and a 4-year, another guy that's had a big, big role really since he set foot on campus, and mainly in the bullpen this year. And I think we talked about it, wasn't 100% healthy coming out of the gym, and took him a little while to get up to speed. And when he did, it was pretty good. I think he settled into that role very nicely. He was a guy, he's a good complement with Cole Bozzi in the bullpen, Bozzi from the left side and Jay from the right side, and one of those games we talked about, the tying run on third and got the strikeout. He got one of those, and I think really finished his career on a real high note the last day of the season with striking out the last 4 guys he faced. And he hit a home run in batting practice. We have pitchers batting practice the last day of the season, last home game of the season, and we've never had a home run before. He'd been saying he was going to do it, and I'll be darned if he didn't do it. He hit it, and I said, no way. No way. How'd it go? So that got that going. But anyway, very good career here. Again, played a big role right from the get-go, and he's a guy we're really going to miss. Jay, come on. Drew Raspolich is a senior infielder for us, and a guy that also played a big role right from the get-go. His freshman, he was going to be involved quite a bit anyway, but then we had some injuries that he got forced into a big, big role and responded in a big way. He led us in hitting that year and had a nice year. Didn't have as good a year last year, and was one of those guys coming in where, okay, is he this guy or is he this guy? I said, I think it's probably in the middle, but it ended up that it was a lot more here. He had a really good year for us and brought some power to the table, really swung the bat well all year. It really never, there wasn't any real big dips in there. He ended up hitting, started every game, hit 300 on the nose for us with 15 extra base hits, led us in doubles with 12, hit 2 balls out of the park, including in the last game, and just had a really good year. Ended up slugging .443 for us, which is good. Played good defense. Has had played mostly shortstop and second base during his career, and has done a great job there. He's a guy that never. Last year when things weren't going well for him, he never made excuses. He was always asking, what can I do differently? What can I do better? And I think that attitude, did feel sorry for himself. That attitude led to the year that he had this year. I think just being able to bounce back and taking it upon himself. He made some adjustments with the swing that initially I was like, why are you doing that? But it worked for him, and it's one of those things where you leave a guy alone if he feels good with it, and it's working for him, and it certainly did. So he really swung the bat well, and just really going to miss him. So, group one up. Keeler Roberts is a senior left-hander for us, and a guy that I'm also very proud of. He's dealt with some adversity here, and is a guy that I think has really, really worked hard to get back to a point where he was on the team and had a chance to contribute for us. I was really proud of him to get in there down in Milliken and throw his final outing, being a scoreless outing. But I just think that his work ethic, his his drive, his ability to not be told no, and I think that's going to bode very well for him. So I'm really proud of him. Come on up here. Our last fourth-year guy, Troy Toller, is a senior infielder for us, mainly a third baseman. Had another good year this year. He was a big factor for us. As a freshman, he was a big factor as well, but certainly the last couple of years, missed the 2020 year like we all did, but had another strong year this year at 296, 30 starts, 9 doubles, and played very good defense as well. So a guy that plays third base as aggressively as I've had a guy play it. And I think he is the guy in our team meeting on Thursday that I used as an example of, if we're going to be better defensively, we have to approach things the way he approached them, because he plays everything live in batting practice. He plays everything live every chance he gets, and he's just an impressive young man, and we're lucky to have him back for another year next year. Troy, come on up. Okay, fifth-year player, Jonathan Mays, was back for his 5th year this year, and is an outfielder for us, and caught a little bit as well, but we caught any games this year, but in his career he's been a catcher also. And another guy, similar to what I said about Zach Hafner, a guy who just continued to improve during his time here, really in all ways, offensively, defensively, on the field, off the field, and ended up playing, really got rewarded for that this year at 299. In 33 games, and was a big factor for us in the lineup. Played right field most of the year for us, and just really glad. John's a lot like me in the sense that he gets really frustrated with himself when he doesn't succeed, and I can relate to him on so many levels. But that's certainly one where I think we had a lot of conversations. I know Coach Willock had a lot of conversations with him as well, and he really did a good job of making that. It comes from a place of fire, it comes from a place of passion and wanting to be successful. But you've got to channel it the right way. I feel like this year he did that. I think it was something where he really only had a couple of stretches where he cooled off a little bit, but overall it just was pretty solid from start to finish. And really glad that he was back. 13 months ago we didn't know he was going to be back, and we're glad that he came back and filled a big role for us. So I'm just really proud of the career he's had. John, come on up. Sixth-year players, Alex Keelian, who's a grad student right-hander for us, and we're going to talk a little more about Alex later, but appeared in 9 games for us and 5 starts, and had a save, had a big save for us this year. Year didn't maybe go the way he wanted in some ways, but his save over at North Central was a 4-inning job, and just really came in there and owned the game, and it was just great to see. He's had a tremendous career here. He is, I think, 3rd all-time in our appearances list at the school. I think he's appeared in 54 ball games. He started 27 of them, and just has had a really good career. So, Alex, come on up. As far as postseason awards go, they haven't named all region stuff yet. Trey Rome was named first team all CCIW as an infielder, so congrats to Trey. The 2nd year in a row that he has had all conference honors. So, as far as team awards, we typically give 4 awards. Our Silver Slugger Award is for our top hitter, our Cy Young Award is for our top pitcher, our Gold Glove Award is for our top defender, and then there's the 10th Player Award, which I'll talk about when we get to it. I think splitting those awards and giving them to multiple guys is kind of kind of a cheap way out for me, but this year there were a couple of them that I think I needed to split. The Silver Slugger Award is one of them. Every time I would think I should give it to one guy, I would think I got to give it to the other guy, and it depends on how you look at it. But the Silver Slugger Award winners this year are Freddie March and Trey Romay. Mentioned a few things about Freddie before, but just focusing on this year, he had 302 and hit 13 balls out. Led us with 38 RBI. Was leading the nation at one point in home runs. Had led us in extra base hits with 21, slugging 690, and just ended up having a really, really good year with the bat. He also stole 4 bases, and I think that in a way sums up Freddie, where just his development and his ability to get as much out of his talent, and he learned. Was it North Central, I think? I'm looking out there, and it's first and second, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, he wants to steal third. Kind of watching, sure enough, the next pitch he steals 3 bases. And I thought he did it on his own, and I think it was, you've all been on your own, right? What you guys think about that? But anyway, but my point is, I think that tells you a lot about him. I think he got to the point where he was a good base stealer and a very good base runner. Just learning the game and his development as a... I'll never forget, again, his Florida trip was comical. If you guys were keeping track of that, it was absolutely comical. Like, we were turning around and just like laughing. It was a joke. Every ball he hit would go out of the ballpark. And to the point where we were beating the tar out of Union, right? It was Union University out of New York. And the wind was blowing out. And I wanted to we got a lot of guys involved, and I was thinking, okay, it's a DH spot, right? That's an easy place to get somebody involved. Like, I don't want to take him out. If he's going to lead the nation in home runs, and sure enough, that at bat he hits the ball out. Holy cow, it was crazy. To think that you could even think that way. So, just had, as I said, he narrowly missed by maybe 5 feet foul, tying our school record for home runs. But either way, it was just had a heck of a year, and just congratulations, Fred. Come on. As I mentioned, the co-winner of that award is Trey Romay, and Trey had another just fantastic year this year. His on-base plus slugging was just below Freddie's, but was right in that neighborhood, 1088. Had the last third of his year wasn't as good as the first 2/3, but if it had been, he'd probably be a first-team All-American. I mean, the first 2/3 of his year were just, absurd, what he was doing. So he was on base at a 490 clip. He slugged 598, had 14 extra base hits, and led us in hitting at 368. Stole 12 bases and led us in that category as well. So just is a tremendous all-around player, tremendous. One of the most talented guys I've coached, and it's just really fun. It's really unfair to him because as coaches, I think we expect him to get a hit every time up, and I know Trey expects that too. But I think it's one of those things where I've had a few guys that have been that way when I'm sitting there, and where you just expect that they're just going to be successful all the time. And I think it's unfair to them, but that just tells you the level of talent that he has. And so just another real good year. So congratulations, Glenn. The Cy Young Award, our top pitcher, this year is going to go to Noah Jordan. Some of these earlier, he led us, so he had 9 starts, 9 appearances, led us in wins, led us in ERA, second in innings, first in strikeouts, first in whip, walks plus hits per inning pitched. Was a guy who, again, coming into the year, we had a number of guys that had started and been successful at this level, so we weren't real sure exactly how that was going to play out in terms of who was going to get those opportunities. But Noah took a hold of that pretty early and was a guy that by the end of the year was really in the #1 slot for us. And just had a heck of a year and very proud of him. plaque of some sort to commemorate this that I will get to you guys that are winning these. We just, obviously, we don't know exactly who's going to win these awards sometimes until the last week or so, and we can't get them turned around that quickly. The Gold Glove Award. There were, I think, some good candidates for this year. I've already mentioned a couple of them. I think Trevor Lorick had a really good year and was a tremendous candidate for it. I mentioned Trey as well. Field of 959 at shortstop, which is fielding percentage, all that, but it was a heck of a year for him. He really solidified that position. But Troy Toller is our Gold Glove winner this year. Not an easy decision, but I feel like Troy really makes us better as a whole. The defensive team needs an aggressive third baseman. Sometimes third basemen kind of get over there and they're toward the line. And they're not really sure they want the ball. And then there are guys like Matt Chapman who basically plays shortstop, plays deep and plays off the line. And I wouldn't say plays where Matt Chapman does, but Troy's a guy that wants the ball. And third base is not an easy position to play at any level. It's certainly not an easy. I know we didn't only have 5 games at Butterfield this year, but still, to put up the numbers he put up, to only commit 4 errors and field 959 as a third baseman is quite an accomplishment. So Troy, come on up. Okay, the 10th Player Award is the Coach's Award, okay? And what it means I can give it to whoever I want, but it also means what it represents for me is who best represents what we want our program to represent. And that, maybe that's not the best way to put it, because there are a lot of guys in this room that do that. I think what's so difficult about this, just losing a class like this, and it's a big class, first of all, but also it's a class that's contributed a lot and accomplished a lot, but by and large, they all represent, in one way or another, what we want our program to represent. And I hope you guys can see that. I hope that the way that we conduct ourselves I hope that it's apparent how we want these guys to conduct themselves. I hope you can see that when you watch us play. I hope it's not just something that we talk about the first meeting of the year and then goes away after that. But this is another one that I'm going to cheat a little bit on, and I'm going to give 2 of these awards this year. And again, I don't... There have been years where it's been hard for me to find a candidate. 1 or 2 years I can remember where it was difficult because I didn't have anybody that really felt, at least not the senior class, that met that fit that bill. This year it's hard to come up with 1 or come up with even with 2. So I think that's a testament, obviously, to this class. First one I'm going to mention, the recipient of the 10th Player Award is Noah Jordan, senior left-hander for us. Noah is... Noah's a guy that I think the best thing, and I think I've mentioned this to him, if I haven't, I should. The way he goes about his business, his talent level is obviously well above average, but the way he goes about his business from the moment he gets up in the morning till he goes to bed at night, if we had 25 of them here, we'd win the conference. I really believe that. I think he is that hard of a worker. He is committed to doing things right all the time. And I think that's something that's just really become more and more apparent to me as his career has gone on. So I don't want to overstate it, but we're going to miss him in a big way. And he's a guy I know, again, I could lean on to talk about different things and see how things were going with the team in different ways, because I know the perspective that he's bringing to the table. And so tremendous student, tremendous citizen, and it's going to be a major success in whatever he ends up doing. So Noah, come on up. Our other 10th Player Award this year is going to go to Alex Keelian. This is the last joke of this type. But Alex has given a great chunk of his life to this program. Being the only, again, because of COVID, and I hope to God, the only six-year player in the history that we will have in this program. But I'm very, very, when I say he's given a lot of his, he's given a lot to this program. He has sacrificed, he has pitched in a number of different roles. He has been a leader I think, a very high-level leader for us for a number of years now. And he's a guy that, just on the field, I mentioned this about JD, and I've mentioned too about JT and some other guys, but his development, he was a guy that kind of came to us. He wasn't a guy that I saw at a showcase. He was a guy that had contacted me. I think we saw him at the camp maybe, I think. We said, hey, he's pretty good. We can do something with this. So we figured he would play a role, and he ended up playing a pretty big role as a freshman. But his sophomore year, he became really one of our top guys out of the bullpen, and was our #1 guy really for the rest of his career for the most part. And so he was a guy that really, he increased velocity, he increased his pitchability, and I think, again, it's all due to that work ethic. And it permeates everything that he does, the classroom, on the field, off the field. Just a guy that, again, when I think about this award, I think about a guy who represents us and who I want everyone to be able to learn from, and everyone to be able to imitate. And Alex is a guy that I really, again, it's going to be hard to imagine not having him around next year, and in a number of ways. And I just really, really appreciate the sacrifices he's made. I think as a leader, when you think about his graduating class was the 2020 class, okay? You come back the next year, and he's a captain in 21, he's a captain in 22, and watching him make the adjustments he needed to make from a leadership standpoint was fascinating. It showed tremendous feel and tremendous awareness of the situation. He was still, even this year, he was still obviously a major part of that, but he also was able to allow, the senior captains, Paul and Noah and Troy, to take that bigger role in that too. He was kind of there almost as a guide for them in a way of being a captain. And I think that takes a lot of maturity, and it's no surprise at all coming from him. So he's another guy that I think is going to be a huge success, already is, and we're just really going to miss him. Alex, go ahead. See in a minute if there's any, Martin Scorsese-esque filmmaking in his future, whatever happens. Last thing, hope that wasn't too long. Is that okay? Sorry. But again, when you have a group of guys that you really respect and really again represent your program the way you want it represented, I think that's I'm going to spend some time talking about them and really. Just proud of this group, and I wish we hadn't lost the year. It feels kind of empty in a way because of that. But I'm very proud of what you've been able to do the last couple of years, and just the way you've conducted yourself. So I always appreciate that. So, last thing to say, I say something similar to this every year, but it's an honor for me to work with your sons. And it's an honor for me to have this job. I never take it for granted. And we work at it as hard as we can. We obviously have to find some solutions. And I think that figuring out, again, as I said to the guys Thursday, I don't want to overreact. I don't want to underreact. We don't want to make too big of a deal. Okay, if we had played more than 5 home games, 1 home game that counts, so we'd have been 13-23. I don't think we would have been. I think we'd have been better than that. Okay, but that doesn't mean we would have been 36-0. So we have to, as coaches, obviously make those kinds of judgments and figure out where to move from here. But it's obviously a constant process. Every team is different. Next year is not going to be as veteran of a team. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different, and that's exciting too. It was exciting to have this year where we had a lot of guys that we could point to and say, look, you guys take charge of this. You guys take care of this. And we may not be able to do that to quite the same degree next year, but it's something that it's an honor for me, and I don't take it for granted. And I just am grateful that you allow me to work with your sons. So. Opportunity knocks here. Let's do it.
a good spot for everyone, and everyone sees it now. Can you move it this way, that way? You guys can feel free to move on. Move your chairs up and I'll crowd in.
We're on the stage.
That's Coach Swan.
That's so exciting.
Except runs well. John Manson's here, right?
Yeah, you guys are
Coach Peter. Oh, boo.
Come on, it's so good.
Oh, I missed.
A little louder, Al.
Can we bring the sound bar?
Alex, yeah. I have the sound bar.
I was going to say, isn't it village?
I know that thing can play loud.
Try turning it up.
So many filters. There we go. That's it.
When it functions at a higher level, coach.
Try that again.
Yes! The hammer!
So alligator. What about you?
Not like round two, right here.
Got it.
It's alligator. Happy to have you here. What's your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Let's see. My favorite Coach Southern quote would probably be when he's talking about the Culver's menu. He says, "It's friggin' immense."
That's a pretty good one. Who would you least let date your sister?
Least let date my sister. I mean, definitely Drew. Probably have to add in there you. Is that alright?
No, yeah, that's good. I'm like too good for it now. Okay. Best beard.
Best beard? Best beard, definitely Paul. Because it's a different color than his actual hair.
Good pick, good pick. Wait, is it recording or no?
You gotta pick down or?
Yeah. It's like an ACT test. So Gator, what is your favorite nickname?
Favorite nickname? My nickname's pretty cool. But I'd probably have to go with Z-Dog.
Sounds good.
I like your nickname too. Quiche.
Which one?
Quiche. Keyword. Secretary.
So Gator, what is your favorite bromance on the team?
Probably Hafner and Drew. They always get along and they have fun, so.
It is also noted they also come late to every bus travel away game. Who is the best dance moves, Gator?
Best dance moves? Probably Alex. Every time I look at Alex, he's always great.
Celebrity lookalikes. Who do you think looks like a celebrity on the team?
Eric Spenden looks just like Michael Cera.
There you have it, folks. Alligator spoken. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Function at a higher level is a good one. That's probably my favorite.
Who is the best bromance on the team?
Best bromance, probably JT and Malik.
Who has the best celebrity lookalike on the team?
I like Shelly and the porcupine from Movie the
Who would win in a fight? Coach Swan or Coach Willett?
I would say Coach Swan just because he has the Cavs.
Who would you least let date your sister on the team?
Right.
Good choice. So Paul. Some people also call you Fawn Mom. Who would you least let date your sister?
The number one has to go to Reynaldo Rodriguez. And like the list goes on forever as to why I wouldn't let him date my sister.
Good choice. Which PO would you want there out there
That you.
as a position?
PO when I put it in.
Wait, okay, sorry. I'm talking sorry. Which PO would you want to play a position?
Which PO would I want to play a position? Okay. Go out a couple individuals that I think. I would want JT Oy as a catcher. Absolute cannon. Fantastic BP round. And I'm going to go with a good one here. I'm going to go with a DH, and I'm going to say Jay Palmer at DH. You know, absolute donkey strength, but just, low contact, but donkey strength.
True that. What's your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Oh man, that's hard. Favorite Coach Southern quote? I think honestly one of my favorite, now you mentioned it, was the I'm going to be lined up and shot, because presently in attendance right here is the individual that scratched the floor. So yeah, I loved it. That's probably my favorite.
What is tough? That's a bromance on the team.
Press romance right here. Davis Mayfield with the bats.
Respect that. JT, what's your favorite Coach Southern quote?
We're going to backyard barbecue, and the second option would probably be they're going to line me up and shoot me on a trial, and the reason for that is that it's my fault.
JT, who has the best bromance on the team?
Don't know for an oddball here, Keylor. I'm going to say Trey Rome and his helmet. And, they've gone through ups and downs on the season. Nice wear and tear on the relationship. But over and all, they've really stuck together for this whole season.
Who on the team has the best celebrity lookalike?
I'm gonna have to go Cole Bozzi and Ellen DeGeneres.
Who on the team has the best beard?
I feel like I'm pressured to say you, so I don't want to say you because you're sitting next to me. When it's actually done correctly, and I know it's really gonna hype him up, but I think Drew Rasmulich does have a nice facial hair. I know it's just gonna stir his pot. I have to be honest, I think Drew Rasmulich.
Troy, some people call you Thatcher. I'm involved in that. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Ooh, there's some good ones. I think one of my ultimate ones, more recent, but the good old Hafner a couple. That's a good one. Gets a chuckle out of me in the field, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Who's the best bromance on the team?
I'm gonna say a couple here. We got, I think starting from freshman year, early on, we got Drew and Hafner. Dynamic duo. They hate each other, supposedly, but they love each other. And then, I have to go with Coach Meager and Bozzi. Inseparable duo right there. They just love each other's presence and just always talking to one another.
Who has the best celebrity look-alike on the team?
The most obvious one is Zabinden and Michael Cera.
Troy, who is the best drip on the team?
I get a different question.
Would you least let date your sister?
Probably Raspo. Freddie's up there, I think. But he can be a good guy. Here and there, he has his moments.
Truly noted, Alex Gillian's sister took Freddie to homecoming, or Freddie took her homecoming. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
I think in this order it would be son of a buck and do that do.
Good choices. Who on the team has the best bromance?
I know it might be a popular one, but I think I'm going to go with Coach Meager and Cole Bozzi.
Pretty good. Who on the team has the best drip?
I'm going to go with Drew Rasmulich.
Who has the best celebrity look-alike on the team?
Would it be bad to pick myself and Patrick Dempsey?
JD, who has the best romance on the team?
Shelly and Ray, and it's really not even close.
Sounds good. Jay, we're happy to have you here. What's your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Probably shut it down and back.
Who on the team has the best romance?
Jason and
Who has the best celebrity look-alike on the team?
I think Malik and Zero from the movie Holes.
That's pretty good. Who has the best drip on the team?
I don't want to say Drew. Spencer Anton.
Who would win in a fight? Dave Wolak or Eric Swanson?
You know, I would say Swanson because he would run me, but I don't play anymore, so probably Wolak.
Jason, what is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Ooh, I definitely think my best Coach Southern quote would be, "Are you afraid, Kenny?"
Who has the best romance on the team?
Best bromance. I would definitely say Zach Hafner and Drew Rasmulich.
Who has the best celebrity look-alike on the team?
Jay Palmer and Bob Feller.
Who would win in a fight? Eric Swanson or Dave Wolak?
Swanson's getting KO'd.
What is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
It's Alexander over the top.
So you did hear us.
say Jay Palmer, C-Bum.
Who has the best bromance on the team?
Half and Drew.
Who would win in a fight? Dave Wolak or Eric Swanson?
Camp all day. I mean, Wolak, sorry.
Who has the best drip on the team?
Definitely Freddie. That chain is top tier. Okay.
So Camp? What is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Oh man, there's a lot, but probably runs well or Hafner a couple. Those two are definitely up there.
Who has the best bromance on the team?
I gotta go with Hafner and Drew. I mean, that's kind of leading vote right now, so probably them two.
Who has the best celebrity lookalike on the team?
Probably Jay and Bartolo.
Who has the best drip on the team?
I think it's a close tie between Velo and Fred, but I'm gonna have to go with my boy Velo on this one.
Who has the best dance moves on the team?
JT, for sure.
Who on the team would you least likely let date your sister?
Not really much out with this one, but definitely Ray Rodriguez. That kid, he's something else, that one.
So Trey, what is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
My favorite quote is probably in the box when he spilled the iced coffee. Bruce spilled the iced coffee. And he said you can function at a higher level.
Who is the best celebrity lookalike on the team?
I'll go with the True Little Dicky one. That's actually.
Who would you least let date your sister?
Probably Ray.
That's a popular one. Who has the best drip on the team?
Best drip. Probably Zach Hafner when he put those wrist tape on the last few games. He stepped it up big time. Gotta be honest.
Who would win in a fight? Dave Wolak or Eric Swanson?
I feel like Coach Swan would put up a good fight. But I feel like Coach Wolak would come out on top in the end. I'm with you there.
Andrew, I'm here with you today. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Can it apply to me?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a doubleheader at Carthage. When I had to get the sandwiches, I was caught off guard. And then someone asked him why I had to go get the sandwiches, and he said he wanted peace and quiet in the dugout.
Who has the best bromance on the team?
Probably Paul and Troy. I have to go Paul and Troy.
Who has the best celebrity lookalike on the team?
Probably Drew and Little Dicky. No, actually, Hafner and Andy Dalton.
That's a good one. Who has the best drip on the team?
I have to go with probably Drew.
Who would you least let date your sister?
Right.
He is goofy. Who would win in a fight, Dave Wolak or Eric Swanson?
If I had to put money on it, I'd probably go with Coach Swan. I'd put Coach Swan. Yeah.
Hot take.
I'm here with Zach. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote of all time?
Oh man, he's got a lot. I like the Judas Priest one when he gets mad. Because when I came here originally as a freshman, I didn't know what it was. And I thought that was just his replacement for saying like, or something. Yeah, I think Judas Priest, just overall, just the consistency of it, just the, throughout the 4 years hearing it like a couple times a day, just always makes me laugh.
That's very cool. Second question, we got love going around on our team. Who has the best bromance?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like me and Raspo are pretty good. That's a good one. I don't know, man. There's a lot of them. Troy and Paul are pretty up there. I mean, they've been best friends. I mean, they're best friends, and their girlfriends are best friends, so they're just one happy family of romance there. So I put either me or Drew or Paul and Troy, definitely.
Solid choices, solid choices. In your opinion, who has the best celebrity look-alike on our team?
I mean, we got Drew, a little Dicky. I mean, he does kind of look like Michael B. Jordan as well, and also Rocky. All those guys. I mean, Brett and John Wayne.
On the team, who would you least let date your sister?
I've been saying Drew a lot, but Drew's up there. Ray, definitely.
In your opinion, who has, or what is, the best nickname on our team?
I think mine are pretty good. I mean, half is a good one. Tim, Jim, Jack. I got some pretty good ones. I like Troy and Troist. Select Fugle and you will understand that. Raspo's a pretty good one. Gator is obviously up there. Brett, his nickname is Finna because when he got here originally in the fall, I'm like, all right, Brett, I'm going to teach you some Chicago slang. And the first one I taught him was Finna. And I don't know if he fully understands the term yet, but yeah, I'd say those.
Pretty good. I'm here with Drew Raspowitz. Drew, I got a couple questions for you. First question, what is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
So my favorite Coach Southern quote is when we lost to Kalamazoo, and he said, Kalamahoo. I thought it was a good play on the word.
It is indeed in Michigan. On this team, who has a celebrity look-alike?
That would be you, with the character from American Dad.
All right, Drew, third question. What is the best bromance on the team?
Probably also you and Ray.
Alright, that's fair. One question for you. What is your favorite moment from this season?
From this season has to be when we beat North Central at their place.
That's a great one. That's a great one. Who is the most likely to get arrested on our team?
The person that is most likely to get arrested on our team is also probably Ray.
Best bromance on the team, or what is the best bromance on the team?
Malik Mustafa and JT Oy.
That's a good one. Who is the best celebrity lookalike on our team?
Drew Raspowitz and Little Dicky.
It's a good underdog right there. Fourth question. Who has the best hair on our team?
Davis Mayfield.
That's a hot take. Okay. I got one more question. Who has the best beard? Sticking with hair. Who's got the best beard on our team?
It's gonna have to be Paul Fomby.
Yes. That's very good. Alright, I'm here with Alex. Alex, I got a couple questions for you today. I'll start off with the first one. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote of all time?
You know, Shelly, it's tough to pick. I think I'm between function at a higher level, never know here, no monkey business, no hats, want the baseball, after a couple, none of your business, Greg. Jiminy Pissness. Don't use the dishwasher. Go pound sand. Son of a buck. And a few moments later. No, you. Our guys. We look like a backyard barbecue. Time for night-night. Shut it down. 10:55 is a real time. They will line me up and shoot me. I'm gonna go drink the piss out of some Mountain Dew. Helen Keller is real. We are always evaluating. Alex, line! Yeah, I don't know, it's tough to
to choose.
Those are all pretty good. You can tell you've been here a long time. Alright, second question. Who has the best bromance on our team?
I'm gonna go with Jay Palmer and other people's food at Culver's.
That's a very good one. That's very good. Third question for you. Who has the best celebrity look-alike on our team?
You know, Shelly, I think you look a lot like Mr. Beast. But I'm also tempted to say Paul and Eva's dad.
Alright, Alice. Fourth question for you. In your opinion, this year, what or who had the best play?
I'm gonna go with Drew Raspolich's home run.
Which one?
He had so many, it's hard to choose.
Who is the biggest Karen on our team?
I'm gonna go Davis Mayfield.
That's a decent pick. That's a decent pick. Okay, well, I'm here with Brett Bishop, South Carolina. Brett, what is your favorite Coach Southern quote?
Runs a bit.
Runs a bit. Yeah, they do. Alright, I got another question. What is the best bromance on our team?
I'll have to go with Camp and Zandy. I think it's a hilarious relationship.
That is a very good one.
Very aggressive too.
Very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. Third question for you. We got some celebrity lookalikes on our team. Who has the best celebrity lookalike?
Bozzy and Ellen, we'll go with that one.
That was a slam dunk right there. Who has the best beard on our team?
Paul's beard is probably the best. He's before he shaved it, but now it's Paul. So
Yeah. I would agree with you on that one. In your opinion, who has the best nickname on our team?
Nadie, baby.
Nadie. There we go, Brett. Alright, I'm here with Jesse James. Jesse, got a couple questions for you. First question, let's start off with, what is your favorite all-time Coach Southern quote?
As a catcher, hearing it almost every game probably runs a little.
Yes. Second question, what is the best bromance? Who has the best bromance on our team?
In all honesty, I think Jason Miller and me.
Okay. We got some celebrity lookalikes on our team. Who has the best celebrity lookalike?
I'm gonna have to go Hafner and Andy Dalton. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Who is the biggest Karen on our team?
Paul Fonby.
Who has the best nickname on our team?
I'm gonna say Velo. Alexander Velasquez. Velo.
He did give it to himself. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote of all time?
Noah Jordan is going to be a successful.
Good. So, second question. We got all the love going on around our team. Who has the best bromance on our team?
Matt Timmer and James Neal, by far.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Third question. Got a lot of celebrity lookalikes on our team as well. Who do you, in your opinion, who do you think has the best celebrity lookalike?
Hafner and Andy Dalton.
That's a very good one. Who would you least let date your sister?
I don't have a sister, but if I did, it would still probably be Drew Raspolich.
Who has the best dance moves on our team? You can include yourself in this.
Andrew Shellhorn.
Alright. Who has the best nickname on our team?
Charlie Smith, aka Dump Chud.
Alright, here with John. Got a couple questions for you, John. First question is, what is your favorite Coach Southern quote of all time?
Stop talking, it's not hard.
That's a fair one. That's a fair one. Second question for you here. I got. who has the best bromance on our team?
JD and Alex.
That is a good one. That is a very good one. Good underdog there. Third question. We got some celebrity lookalikes on our team. Who has the best celebrity lookalike?
Eric Spend and Michael Cera.
Fourth question. We got a lot of hair going on our team. With facial hair, who has the best beard?
I'm gonna have to go with Keeler Roberts for that one.
That is a really good beard. It's a thick beard too. Last question for you. In your opinion, what is the play of this year?
I would say Gators catch at North Park, play of the year.
Thank you, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
No problem. What is your favorite Coach Southern quote of all time?
I always love when we're on our way to Augie and someone spilled their coffee, not naming names, but he pointed to everybody and said, everybody on this bus needs to function at a friggin' higher level.
So, second question for you. Who has the best bromance on our team?
Oh, that's easy. I'd say Jeremy and Kolbazi.
Coach Meager and Kolbazi, yes. Third question for you. What is the best celebrity lookalike on our team?
I would probably say Malik and Corbin Blue is a good one.
There you go. In your opinion, what is the best play of this year?
Oh, Gators catch at North Park by far.
Yes, by far.
That's it.
Figure it out.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So I have some bonus awards here. These are not sponsored by the Elmhurst baseball program. As voted by popular demand, I'm just going to read a couple off here. First, we have Best Beard of the Year to Paul Fomby coming up. Next, we have kind of an oddball here, but most likely to beat up Coach Swanson. This one's going to go to Coach Wolak. Come on. Ray, you know we love you, right? The next one's going to go to Reynaldo Rodriguez III for least likely to date my sister. Next we have the best Coach Southern quote of all time. This was close. There were a lot with 2 and 3 votes, but, and this one comes in a lot of different variations, so that's why I chose this one. But we have runs a bit. Coach Southern, coming up. Next one is a bit controversial. I don't necessarily support it myself, but we have Best Drip of the Year, and that goes to Drew Raspulich. Next up here we have a tie for Best Celebrity Lookalike. The first one is going to go to Eric Zabinden and Michael Cera. Michael Cera isn't here, so. And that tied Zach Hafner, who looks just like Andy Dalton. Come on up, Zach. All right, this isn't the last one we voted on, but this is the last one I made a certificate for. I just picked ones with at least 3 votes and ones that weren't a tie. But we have the best bromance on the team, which won by a landslide, Zach Hafner and Drew Raspulich. Yeah, I just wanted to conclude by saying I know we had our ups and downs on the field this year, but as you saw from the video, this is probably the funniest group of individuals I've ever played with, and I hope you guys had a blast this year like I did. And hopefully you guys had half as much fun watching the video as I did making it. So thank you very much.
It's on YouTube, by the way. I'll share the link with all of you.